Some of you guys may know that T-Pain does he's like a live streamer now.
Yeah. He gets his money on Twitch.
Yeah. So he does that. He's a great personality. So if you ever, catch him on Twitch, he's actually super fun to watch. He'll play video games and make beats and do songs and interview people and stuff. So I don't know how much he still does it now, but he used to be super active. But one of his clips just popped up recently, and I don't know how old it is, but he talked about his publishing on Buy You a Drink and how he essentially gets like nothing from that because of not necessarily like samples being used, but references of different people's music, like Walk It Out and the Little John, like what was the Little John?
Snap Your Fingers.
Snap Your Fingers.
Step, yeah.
And there was a couple of them. I don't know. We don't typically hear a lot of artists talk about this in the public about how writers come for them in this aspect. You guys have any thoughts on this? From any particular angle?
I think it actually, it wasn't his first single,
right?
But I think it's one that, in his situation,
that was a number one song for him.
It was a number one song, so it actually did him well because it pretty much put him on the map, put him in people's ears who weren't necessarily familiar with him, and it gave his career that boost. I mean, he was writing hooks for every single person for like. About 3 summers?
Yeah, he was already huge by then, though.
He was, but I think that song is what kind of propelled him
the next step,
even higher,
next level.
You know what I'm saying? So I think
to have a number one pop hit, it always takes you to the next level.
In his situation, it kind of benefited him, and some other people have done the same thing, and their music didn't transcend as well as they might have thought it would be.
I say Bartender's bigger than Buy You a Drink.
I don't
though.
think so.
On a pop level,
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No,
you gotta think. If I'm going to a Caucasian club,
okay,
Buy You a Drink. I mean, it's not gonna get played over Bartender.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I think it might.
Yes, it is. It's on a national commercial right now as we speak.
Bartender was a big record, but Buy You a Drink is out of here.
Well, and it's the familiarity to it. Like people who don't know the song, who are first now hearing that song, they already know some of the words.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So. I don't know. Me personally, I think it's a bigger song definitely than Bartender.
Plus, he's using a whole bunch of references of other songs, so
it's familiar to people already.
Yeah.
So you can drop that. You can drop that in the club.
I'm in love with a stripper,
and nobody would have ever heard it, and they're gonna pick up on it because you're saying stuff they remember.
Yeah, they can sing along to it without. It could be the first time they heard the song, and they're already going to be able to sing along to it.
You know how late that is in the song.
I mean, yeah, it is.
It's the first. Damn near the first thing he says on there is "Snap your fingers."
No, it ain't.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, you're right. He's in the beginning. You're right. You're right. Snap your fingers. You can do it all by yourself.
Yeah.
Baby girl, what's your name?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let me talk to you. Let me buy you a drink.
There you go, man.
Which doesn't happen anymore. Like when you see, dudes be waiting for women to buy them drinks.
Oh man.
They'd be like, why aren't these girls talking to me?
Well, Biggie said, as soon as you buy that wine, I'm creeping up from behind. So,
has that ever happened to you? You bought. I just had a discussion about that today.
Flashback.
Yeah, you in the club. You know what I mean? And you see something that you like. Pull her to the side. Hey, baby, how you doing? Let me buy you a drink. You buy a drink, and she play like she interested until she get that drink, and she like, all right, have a nice night.
Yeah,
look, just like the song say, shoot, if I buy you a drink and you drink it up, you coming home with me. No,
that's drunk shaming. You can't drunk shame anymore, man.
No,
she doesn't owe me anything because I bought her a drink.
Correct.
No, please. I gotta stop talking like everybody knows my heart, and somebody gonna be like, he's problematic.
Yeah, can we at least finish the conversation?
We've been getting some placements here lately, so we gotta be careful.
Exactly. That'll wind up in one of these documentaries about men and the brutality of hip hop, and I'll be like, well, I was just kidding. It's just, what I thought about? Do you remember what Mims? And
This Is Why I'm Hot.
This Is Why I'm Hot. He must have referenced about 10 different records.
He did.
I wonder if they came after him in this.
And he
way.
used the production.
They might have because of. So it's one of those things, just like sampling.
Mm-hmm.
The writer's aspect of this is it's the other side of writing, right? So typically when you hear like writers come at artists, it's because of like literally using some work. But ASCAP or BMI, these publishing companies, they literally, their purpose is to protect writers. Mm-hmm. And when you register your song, you are considered a writer even if you just make the music. So it's one of those things where you don't see those conversations pop up that often about like, oh yeah, I said this line, and because this is a popular line, I have to pay this person.
Because a lot of times they already got the paperwork situated beforehand, so they don't have to talk about it.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
On the writing,
Well,
on the writing aspect?
I can't remember what Beyonce song it is.
Well,
It just happened recently.
She used something from Soulja Boy. So Soulja Boy got a Grammy because she got a Grammy.
But Beyonce also knew better. Like she's a great example of knowing like, all right,
They're going to come after me.
they're going to come after me because I'm this big. You know, it's just like sampling a record. Like sometimes you can get away with sampling a record if it doesn't blow up, but once it blows up, they're going to come after you. But I haven't seen very many instances where something like this has particularly happened on the back
Cisco.
end.
Yeah. Cisco with if he'd have just left
Livin'
out
La Vida Loca.
Vida Loca, that cost him millions of dollars.
Yeah.
He said it a whole lot of times in that song.
Well, that's
Yeah, it
true.
was-
It's one verse. It's one
it's
verse. He just
repeated,
he keeps saying it. Yeah.
And then like Uptown Funk, retroactively gave Trinidad James, shout out to Dizzy, he's giving us stats right now. For when they said, "Don't believe me, just watch." They gave songwriting credit to Trinidad James.
That's why he still got gold all in his mouth.
Exactly.
And dad socks.
Yeah.
I mean,
And a fresh curl.
I think this is, don't get me wrong, this is all good. I like the fact that the writers are being compensated for their creativity in this aspect. But don't typically see that very often. So
All right.
it seems like it worked for T-Pain though. But what would you say his biggest record is though?
T-Pain's biggest record.
Yeah.
It's probably that.
Is it that? I'm in love with a stripper?
No.
It's definitely Buy Me a Drink.
Buy me a
Buy
drink.
you a drink.
Yeah.
That was when you hit #1 Billboard mainstream, whatever, like that's
You guys
your
are all
biggest song.
DJs and in the club. I'm not. So
That's what people know T-Pain from.
No.
It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, T-Pain got some really good albums and songs, but the main song people know T-Pain from is Buy You a Drink.
It depends. It depends on what room you're in. Cause
Or his because he's on
About to say
a lot of the
Some people know
dopest songs
from
Get
Booty
Low.
Work.
a whole generation.
I was gonna say Get Low. Or,
Get Low?
Low.
Well, Flo Rida.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it. See, that would make more sense to your point when you were talking about Bartender versus Get Low is definitely way more popular in those clubs that you was talking about.
Yeah. Low is definitely.
I think they're
Like,
all popular. In
I
this
remember. Look, and the thing is, like, this is when I was working in a spot called the Ice Lounge, and that's when that song got popping.
Yeah.
And like not paying too much attention. I was like, oh, well, Nelly's got another one because he's talking about apple bottom jeans and he's kind of sing songy. Then I realized it wasn't Nelly and it was this other dude, Flo Rida.
Yeah.
He's one of them dudes that people that really like rap and hip hop do not like at all.
But you know what? People like, there's just sometimes there are just people in the culture that white people almost like too much. And you wonder what's going on.
Flo Rida's
one of those people.
He's definitely one of those people.
Flo Rida was the MC Hammer of the 2000s.
I wouldn't even give him that much. I wouldn't even give him MC Hammer.
But you know how everybody
He's more of a more popular Tone Loc.
But okay, boom. Yeah.
But the thing is, Tone Loc was really popular.
Yeah.
He was.
And the thing is with Flo Rida, he would have songs that were technically rap songs that wouldn't play in rap clubs. They would only play in those like rap.
Yeah.
And this is the crazy like
They were playing the Ramada in Anderson.
Yeah.
In the mid 90s.
Yep, you are correct.
I always say that
and early 2000s.
I always say that Flo Rida worked because
early 2000s.
He reminds white people of that cool black person they met at Senior Frogs in spring break. Might have bought them some drinks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Absolutely.
I hated Whistle.
Whistle.
Let me see you whistle, baby, whistle.
Oh,
baby.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
I don't even know what that is.
Him and Pitbull are
Yeah. All of them.
terrible.
Yeah.
and he was getting money.
Money.
He was getting to the money.
Man.
Paid.